Hello, everyone. Hope you enjoyed yourself a nice weekend. It's Andy coming to you on a Monday. New week, new me. I mean, ready for those? Those are coming in a couple of weeks from now. New year, new me. Same game parlay. It's a Monday night, and it's a very good one. This is the kind of game. A Super Bowl rematch. Eagles, Chiefs. This is one of the rare primetime games, especially this season. You don't even need to have a stake in the game to actually get maximum enjoyment out of it. But who are we kidding? Why would we just enjoy it when we can enjoy it and have some stakes in the game? I'm going to give you some of my favorite picks for this Monday Night Football. Some coming from me, one coming from Odd Shopper, trying to give you my best feel. Now, don't forget, last time the Eagles played, Dallas Goedert got himself injured and he's not going to be available. So, that's even more targets to go to the big two. But don't worry, I promise you, I'm not going to make you take the alt over on Devontae Smith, although I 100% think it's in play. If you want to go that route, you can absolutely do it. But what I'm going to do with Devontae Smith, I'm going to take the over on his longest reception. That's what I'm going to do. Over on longest reception for Devontae Smith. Then we'll get into some other things. For this game, I understand that the Eagles are a very good team. We have seen them be vulnerable in the back end, especially in the secondary. But the funny thing is, that's the one part of, it's so crazy to say, the Chiefs game that they haven't really been able to fire on all cylinders. But coming off that bye, Andy Reid off of a bye, getting the Super Bowl champions at home in Kansas City, I gotta take it if it's -2.5. I'm gonna take the Kansas City Chiefs at home against the Eagles, -2.5. I think the Eagles are due for one of those primetime losses. And I don't know, this primetime game with Kansas City having 2 weeks to get this offense in order, and we know how good that defense is. We're not going to have Dallas Goedert in this game for Philadelphia. I think there's a slight edge here going to Kansas City, but in no way, shape, or form am I saying, oh yeah, this is Kansas City. I wouldn't be surprised if, like the Super Bowl, this comes down to the very end with Kansas City being on the right side of it. But if you show me -2.5, and I'll show you my click. So I'll take them at -2.5. But just like in that Super Bowl, I think Hurts is going to try to rise to the occasion. And what does that mean? More potential runs. It's like he saves up his running for the games that matter the most. That's what I've seen from him. He's seemed a little less likely to run, a little more cautious, a little more worried that he doesn't want to experience that late season injury like he did last year, which affected him into the playoffs. So, but this is the kind of game where I think he's going to try to put the team on his back. I'm going to take the over on rushing attempts for Jalen Hurts. Not to mention, we always got all those tush pushes. You know that when it's third and 2, and then they'll do it for 1 yard and then do it for another yard? Between that and then me personally believing that Hurts is going to try to put this game on his shoulders, I'm going to take the over on his rushing attempts in this game. Then we can go over to Area 51 where they're mixing all those chemicals to spit out the best props. They like the under on Sky Moore's receiving yards and even the under on his receptions, and I can see why. Absurdly low total. You're probably thinking, one dinky catch and he's going to get over that total. He got mostly benched. He was mostly a reserve receiver in their previous contest. They gave it a try. They drafted him last year. They played him and he couldn't do anything with it. They traded for Hardman. I wouldn't be surprised if Hardman reclaims his role from last year, which wasn't a good role to begin with, just more 1 or 2 catch performances. But with Rice having a couple more weeks to work on his chemistry with Mahomes, I kind of like this Area 51 bunker play, the under on Sky Moore receiving yards. I don't want to take too many alts or anything crazy in this game. So if you want to go over to Caesars, where your first bet's going to be risk-free up to $1,000 if you're a new user over there, I'll do some of these together. Give me the over on longest reception for Devontae Smith, the over on rushing attempts for Jalen Hurts. I want the over on receiving yards for DeAndre Swift. I don't think Swift's going to be as effective running because of how good the defensive front is for Kansas City. We see how tough they make it on opposing teams, which means I think that Hurts is actually going to try to get it to him more. And also there's more targets available because of Dallas Goedert not being in the game. So that's another bet that I just forgot to say earlier. So for this same game parlay, going back to it, the over on Hurts rushing attempts, the over on longest reception for Devontae Smith, and then the over on receiving yards for DeAndre Swift. But I like those three in a same game parlay where it will be risk-free up to $1,000 on Caesars if you're a new user over there. So make sure you take advantage of that. You just got to be over 21 and located in a state or province where sports betting is permitted. And obviously, if you or anybody you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER and then call me after that. And I'll congratulate you and say, hey, good job on calling 1-800-GAMBLER. I will see you guys before the Thanksgiving games. We got a couple of those. Then we got the random Black Friday game. And obviously, I have my NHL videos. We're going to do Francis and Friends earlier this week. So make sure you're subscribed to the Odd Shopper channel and click the notification thing so you know when they're coming out. It can be at random times. It's a wacky week. So you may as well enjoy it. We'll talk about Thanksgiving, the uncle who comes in and reminds you that turkey makes you tired, but then you eat a turkey sandwich on February 11th. Nobody ever says anything, but we'll talk about that then. Subscribe to the channel here. Follow me on social media, and I'll see you later.